MotorWeek is made possible by TireRack.com and RockAuto.com.
And next is a car with another kind of reputation for being one of the mainstays of the American highway. This Chrysler LeBaron four-door. It's one of those cars that does most of the driving in this country. So this year, for all of the LeBaron's miles of dedicated service, Chrysler's going to give it some rewards. First, they've given it some restyling. It's still the same front-drive K-base sedan that Chrysler introduced 4 years ago for buyers who wanted Plymouth Aries economy with Chrysler panache. But now there's this sloped grille, rounded fenders, and new wraparound taillights with integrated bumpers front and back. There's enough bright metal to go around just as before, so the LeBaron still knows its place. But the real cause for celebration here is the second treat, a new engine. This is Chrysler's 2.5-liter four-cylinder. It has single-port fuel injection and generates 100 horsepower and 136 pound-feet of torque. That's 14% more than the standard 2.2-liter, but just a bit less than the Mitsubishi-made 2.6-liter it replaces. So what's the big deal? Well, the new motor is 9% more efficient than the 2.6, has better bottom-end torque, and quicker throttle response. Like all front-drive Chryslers, the engine is transverse, and the maintenance accessibility is good, even for the fan belts. But best of all, it's the smoothest four-cylinder yet from the Pentastar. Despite only being a stroked version of the 2.2, a pair of counter-rotating balance shafts have been added below the crankshaft. Chain-driven, they rotate at twice the speed of the crank and successfully dampen most of the vibration and shake normally associated with larger four-cylinders. The result? Well, this is the first front-drive Chrysler we've driven that didn't seem to have a nest of angry hornets living under the dash. And that makes any acceleration more pleasant, but this still is no screamer. The 2.5 is designed to make torque, that's pulling power, not speed. So 0 to 60 took a sort of long 14.2 seconds, but that's still in the average range for family cars. 40 to 55 passing time, a reasonable 5.5 seconds. The LeBaron also gets revised steering this year, with better road feel than any K car to date. But the LeBaron's combo of 185/70/14 all-season tires and soft springs are still overwhelmed in a handling test. There is so much plow that we had to cut our lane change entry speed from 55 to 45 just to keep the tires from breaking away and losing control. Stopping was much more impressive. There was no premature lock or rear-end slide, though there was some fade. Distances from 55 averaged a very good figure, 121 feet. As for creature features, inside there's room for 5 adults with a moderate level of luxury. The standard bench seats are a little short on leg support in the front. In the back, you get in by squeezing through the short, narrow doors. But once you do, there's plenty of room, especially for the LeBaron's short 100.3-inch wheelbase. If the standard rolled and pleated vinyl upholstery isn't your style, there's also a Mark Cross leather option. But we were more impressed by the LeBaron's instruments and controls, reworked last year for greater convenience and legibility. An electronic package is available for added glitter. This year, there's another new interior touch, European-like tactile switches for the power window controls. Around back, the trunk is deep and wide, even though there's still a high sill. Out on the road, the LeBaron is almost as comfortable as its Luxo image suggests, allowing for the occasional K-car clunk from the front suspension on pavement joints and rough road bumps. At 55, interior sound was a quiet 67 decibels. And fuel economy? Well, the EPA rates the LeBaron 2.5 at 23 city, 25 highway. We managed a respectable 25 on our 100-mile mixed driving loop. There are more than a few hits still left in the LeBaron. We really like the smooth, quiet 2.5-liter engine. We also applaud the better feel power steering and brakes that stop without front drive swing. Fit and finish were also better than any other Chrysler product we've seen recently. And with a base price of $9,700, the LeBaron is the kind of moderately luxurious family car most people can afford. The LeBaron's misses have mostly to do with highway ride and emergency handling. Too much impact from rough pavement and tar strips reaches the passenger compartment. And the flabby tires and soft springs kept cornering power well below other Chrysler products that use similar components. The basic design of the LeBaron is indeed getting a bit long in the tooth, but Chrysler is still working hard to keep it competitive. And with the solid additions for 1986, it should thrive as a Chrysler mainstay for a few years to come.
And we'll see you next week on MotorWeek.